very good afternoon to our RANsquawk listeners. So, in terms of news flow today, we've seen recently ECB's Draghi start speaking. He's at the European Parliament. And since then, we've come off our best levels in the European cash market, so we were in slight positive territory, now dipped back into negative territory. However, Draghi hasn't said anything particularly market moving, more reiterating points from his press conference. In terms of the ECB today, we did see them announce their bond buying under the S&P programme for last week, so that came in higher than the previous reading. So they spent €3.361 billion under their bond buying programme. The prior week to that, they'd spent around 600 million, so quite a marked increase there. We also saw source comments earlier, so we saw an important one that said that EU loans to the IMF is likely to fall short of the €200 billion initially talked about. And that's as the Eurozone Finance Minister teleconference call, that's ongoing at the moment, so that started around 2:30 London time, due to finish about 5:30. So looking out for any comments out of that, could be some particularly market moving ones. We also saw recently that the ECB, they announced their financial stability review, so that came out at 4 o'clock London. The main points really were they said that that pressure to the Eurozone finance stability remains pretty well elevated, and it has worsened in this half of this year. They also saw that a sovereign debt crisis contagion had spread, and that remains a key risk to the Eurozone area. We also saw that their risk of 2 large banks defaulting is the highest since measurements in 2007. Now, looking ahead to the rest of the session, it's pretty light on the calendar, but as I said, that teleconference call, that will likely produce some pretty important comments. We've also got the US 2-year note auction as well, but for the time being, that's enough from me. We'll have another update for you after market, but enjoy the rest of the session.